Yeah, I mean, obviously, unfortunately, there were some guys that died, cutting weight, cutting drastic amount of weight, and I think some creatine was involved, which what sounds like kind of what happened. But I mean, I think they ended up changing their rules for the better, because heck, I can tell you, we went to Midlands. We went to Midlands. We got +7. We got to weigh in the day before, and then we came back home. So we had Midlands. We came back home, and then we wrestled Penn State and Michigan State, I think, back-to-back days. And how they used to kind of have it is coaches would say, hey, we're just going to weigh in. We're going to weigh in early. Or we're going to weigh in a night before. Penn State called and they're like, hey, we're traveling in. We're going to weigh in if you guys want to weigh in early. And then that's what they let us do. So they let us try to weigh in early. Um, and everyone got down to weight. And I was maybe about a pound and a half over. So, you went from 33 and I had to get down to 27. Because as the season went, they would go, I think in the first month of the year, I think you got +4, then you got +3 in December, then you got +1 in January, then you were scratch February on. So, I mean, just the rules were totally different. It was day before weigh-ins. Guys were cutting tons amount of weight. I mean, you were professional at cutting weight. And you'd take off a bunch, and next to it, the day of, and the day before weigh-ins was all cutting weight. So I think it's been a great change. Guys get to spend more time trying to work on wrestling. But I mean, you cut a lot, then you put it back on, then you cut a lot and put it back on. And I just remember that coming back from Midlands, and you go to a tournament, you're not concerned with your weight, but and that's the toughest and hardest weight cut I ever had. That would cut me to the bone. Like, and guys that have done it, they know what I'm talking about, because you don't recover even in a day. It took a lot out of me. And then we wrestled that first duel against Penn State, and man, I didn't have much. I think I lost in overtime, and then won the next day at Michigan State. And the coaches obviously weren't very happy. I think in Gable's time, maybe he lost one duel in Carver. I think one. I'd have to go look at his record, but it was pretty dang good in Carver. And then we lost a duel. Actually, we lost, I think, 2 that year in Carver. And that happened to be one that we lost against Penn State. And then we had the Michigan State meet. And then after the meet, we had a team meeting. And yeah, there's some things I remember about it, but I remember Tom pulled me and Ironside back into this little room. And if you guys have been in Iowa's wrestling room, you have the wrestling room, you have the weight room, and then there's a little room back there. And I think it used to be Royce's room, or it used to be, I don't know, anybody that maybe was a Hawkeye Wrestling Club guy. I don't know, they kind of had a little office back there, or they slept back there, or whatever it was. There's a couch back there, and there's a desk. And I remember Tom brought me and Ironside back there, and we're like, kind of like, we don't know what the heck's going to go on, but I know that, we got to get some aggression out, because, the coach, there's not a whole lot you can do. But I remember him just like, let's start hand fighting. He's like, you just pretty much just beat the living hell out of each other. And I want you to keep beating the hell out of each other. And I tell you what, I did not get the best of that one. I was a senior. I remember at one point he had me down on the couch, and like I'm laying on the couch, and he has me down, and I'm trying to get up, but the couch kind of sink into the couch. And if you've ever been in a couch where you kind of sink in, and you got someone that's on top of you, it's hard to get out of that. And then I think he finally let me out, and I mean, we just, Tom just like, just keep going, keep beating the hell out of each other. And I remember there was a hole that got put in the wall, and I don't know. I mean, I didn't really think twice about it. It was like, that's kind of what you do, I guess. I mean, I guess it wasn't enough, and need a little bit maybe more fight as a team. But also just, I think sometimes as a coach, and I can understand, it's like, hey, there's sometimes you got to get that out, and like you can't get it out yourself, so why don't you guys get it out and get it out for me? And I mean, I don't know. I remember that. I've had some people, I think, ask me, some guys on the team ask, what happened back there? the dojo or whatever, back in, and I don't know, like I said, there wasn't a whole lot of thought for me, even whatever they asked me to do, obviously within the rule. But I mean, if it's something physical and we're just, like, you're going to climb this rope 100 times, okay. Hey, you're going to go and hand fight in this little room, and maybe a hole's going to get put in the wall. You're going to get put on the couch, and your job is to fight out of it. That's what you do, and that's what we did. But yeah, I remember that. I remember that was a interesting thing. But then you move on. I mean, it's just I think I've had a few questions helpful who asked me about it, but I haven't even, a lot of things I don't even think I ever thought about again. It's just like, that's what you did. But I remember that time, man, especially when they changed the weights, and then the rest of the year it was +7 the rest of that year, and that's where the weights are where they are now. I was at 26, and then I wrestled 33 that year, and we can go into how I managed my weight, because I didn't manage my weight very well that year. And then it got better the next year. I moved up a weight, but that's why the weights are at where they're at. They added +7 to all those other weights, and that's why the weights are. That's why the weigh-ins like they are. And actually, it was 2-hour weigh-in that first year, so it was 2 hour for everything. And guys were still adjusting to that, and now we got the 1 hour weigh-in. But I think in the end, it's been better for the sport. I think it's been a lot better for wrestling, and guys spend so much more time trying to get better. And we weren't doing that. We were spending a lot of time just cutting a lot of weight, and you'd suck it down, and then you'd put it right back on. Now, heck, our guys, the last workout before they get down to weight is they're wrestling, they're drilling, they're still getting better at wrestling, and I think it's been a good thing. I think it's been a really good thing for wrestling.